right. Hello and welcome to the very first episode of the Nampa School District Podcast. My name is Tyler Keefe. I'm the Digital Communications Specialist for the Nampa School District, and I'm thrilled to have a couple of people here with me today. If you're watching on video, you'll see them. This podcast is meant to bring an inside look to the Nampa School District. And with me today on my left, so dead center on the screen, is Matt Sizemore, our new Community and Media Relations Specialist. And directly across from me to your right is Will Barber, who is our new Athletic and Activities Director for the district. So Matt, Will, how are you guys doing today?
Oh, feeling tremendous. Thanks so much, Tyler. So good to be here and excited to be starting this podcast. It's something we've talked about now since I've got here. So excited to be sitting down with you and sitting down with Will as well.
Yeah, it's great to be here, Tyler. Thanks for having us on the podcast and giving us a little opportunity to kind of explain what we're going to be doing and some of the activities and things that are going on in the Nampa School District. And yeah, just taking some time to do that. Thank you.
Yeah, no, again, thanks for joining today. Each week, as we plan to do this, we want to highlight not only what's going on in the district with activities. Academics are going to be part of it at some point, but it's the summer, so there really isn't a whole lot of academics to discuss. But definitely, what's going on the stage, on the field, between the lines kind of a thing. So wanted to give our community a little background on why we started it, and Matt, you kind of alluded to it. We wanted to create a platform where we as a district can share some updates, celebrate achievements, keep our community informed about what's happening in our schools, on the stage, and between the lines. We want to make sure that everybody feels connected and involved. So with that, Will, is there something that you want to add, kind of your thoughts of the podcast in general before we really get into things?
Yeah, I just think it's a great platform that we can highlight, that we can talk a little bit more either in depth or, just bring attention to the wonderful activities that are going on in the city of Nampa and specifically our district. And we just have so many talented young men and women that are doing things, that are out already right now practicing, that are performing and doing things during the summer to get ready for the upcoming school year. So there's a lot of behind-the-scenes things that are already going on, and then as we move into the school year, obviously we'll get a chance to highlight some of those great activities that are going on during the year.
So speaking of bringing the community together, this is Matt, where you're going to come in. But
that's
before
a grand
that,
scale right there.
Yeah, it is. It is. Let's kind of quickly go over our backgrounds, because the three of us have three completely different backgrounds in education and not in education. Myself, I was a teacher in this district for 16 years, teaching fifth grade. Then I went into the coaching role, and now I'm going to have a lot of fun celebrating the district through our social media and webpage and like all that stuff. But Matt, your background's way different. We're going to get to you last.
Yeah, I was going to say.
I'm just throwing you something here.
Go the least education-wise, yeah.
But Will, can you kind of give us your elevator speech of where you've been, how you got here, all that fun jazz?
Yeah, I wouldn't be here unless it was activities that I was involved with, growing up in high school and college. And so I've been fortunate enough to be a part of programs. Started in Caldwell a number of years ago, spent a number of years there coaching and teaching. And then I got an opportunity to come over to the Nampa School District 18 years ago. So I've been with Nampa for a while. Got a chance to open up Columbia with a lot of good teachers and coaches over there. Spent 3 years there, coached baseball for a couple of years, and then moved over to Skyview, and I was there for about 15 years there. So, my background, baseball in college, played a number of sports in high school, just with that background, the camaraderie with the team and the coaches and the impact that they have to help guide and mold people, was the reason why I got into teaching and coaching originally a long, long time ago. So excited to be a part of that again in this position and take that background. Hopefully I can help as well increase or support, the level here in the Nampa School District.
Awesome. Now, Matt, you're no stranger to the camera by any means.
Yeah. Yeah, I've heard.
But you have a fun, interesting background and a cool connection that I'm sure our listeners would love to hear about with your dad and what he does.
Oh, well remembered. Yeah. So my background basically is in broadcast television and media as well. I was born and raised a long time ago in the Los Angeles area where after I graduated, I did a lot in terms of behind the scenes production stuff. I did on-air radio there, traffic and some news, and worked for like Fox Sports for behind the scenes for 9 years, I think, something like that. Eventually, I jumped into radio, moved to Colorado to do sports play-by-play. I did football and basketball and was also a morning DJ there for a country station, by the way. And I was not really a big country fan. They had a database of about 10,000 songs. I started a list of all the songs I ended up liking, and I ended up with approximately 45 out of 10,000. So there's a couple I like. That's good. Eventually then moved to about almost 11 years ago to Lewiston, Idaho, just up north. One of my favorite places. That's when I got into television where I did sports. I was the sports director, sports anchor, and reporter for a TV station up there. And that's kind of where I just rekindled the flame for sports. I shouldn't even say that because sports have always been a part of my life. I played sports forever, football, track when I was a kid, basketball, soccer. Now I'm playing slow pitch softball with the older gentlemen, or trying to. But I did sports, everything up there, just constantly going to games and whatnot. Then I continued in the news business, jumped away from sports, unfortunately, and missed that. But in total, I've been doing was doing on-air television for almost 11 years, about almost 6 years here in the Treasure Valley. And as soon as I got here, I just fell in love with the Treasure Valley almost 6 years ago, and it's the place I want to be in. I am very fortunate to have landed here with the Nampa School District in a new position that I'm just so incredibly excited for, and just highlight the wonderful people and the wonderful events and all the great things going on here. And just, again, so excited to be here.
Now, you left one thing out. What's your dad's connection? Because this is super cool, even though I'm not a fan, but I know a lot of people out there are.
Sure. So my dad, who claims he is going to be retiring this year after 20, I want to say in the 25-year range, has been a cameraman and technical director for Days of Our Lives for a long time now. And it's something growing up I used to love going on set and just seeing all the actors and directors, producers, and everybody. And it was so fun because I get these big time actors, Deidre Hall and whatnot, saying, "Hey, Matt's here. Hi, Matt." I'm like, "Hi." And and I was even on it twice as an extra, and that was all. I had a line once, or maybe it was 3 times as an extra.
That show's been going on for a long time, hasn't it?
Very long time. Yeah,
forever.
Yeah, like sands through the hourglass. That's a reference to the show.
So are the days of your life.
Yeah, of my life. And I did that. It was always fun going on set whenever I was an extra, because I'd start out with the other extras just in this little room that was just weird. And my dad would come in and say, "Matt, let's go." And then I'd go on set to see other scenes being shot and say hi to everybody and get their little catered layout. And so it was a good time. So yeah, and not only that, but my mom was in. She was the editor-in-chief for the NBC station, their morning show in Los Angeles for 25 years as well. So I always tell people, 2 behind-the-scenes people make an on-air person.
There you go. Literally.
2 wrongs make a right. That's something like that.
No, that's cool. When I first heard that, I was like, okay, he's got some stories to tell.
Yeah.
Which we'll get into some at some point, I'm sure. But speaking of bringing the community together, it's something that you mentioned. Want to talk about some of our goals for the Nampa School District doing this. Matt, we're going to start with you. So what are some of your goals coming to the Nampa School District? It's way different from Media Land.
Yeah.
But at some instances, I should say, it's probably very similar.
Yes, that's exactly what I've been finding out. I've now been here for just over 3 weeks. Granted, 2 of those weeks were half-time as I was trying to get my daughter into full-time school. But the amount I've learned in this small amount of time has been absolutely incredible to see what's going on behind the scenes and just to see how dedicated and passionate the people here are for the students, teachers, and just to see everything going on. My goal basically is to shine, kind of like what I was doing or what I was hoping to be doing in the media world, shine a light on those who maybe feel like their voices are not being heard or their stories not being seen. There are so many fantastic people here in the Nampa School District, whether it's students, teachers, administrators. There's so many stories to be told. There's so many events that are happening that I feel don't get enough publicity. So one of my main goals is to go out. I've been going out to each school, talking to as many principals as I can, talking to as many people as I can to just say, listen, when you have something coming up, please let me know. Please let me know because I want to be there. I want to help you spread the word about this amazing event or amazing student, amazing teacher you have. And so far I've got, I think, 10 more schools to go. I've visited, 10, 12, something like that. So, it's been so great meeting these people and to know that I'm still going to be able to take some of the things I've learned in media. I've been a storyteller now for about 11 years. To be able to continue that, talk to these people, interview people, put together a story, share it and say, hey, look what's happening at the Nampa School District. Look at these amazing things. It's truly an honor to be doing that, and I can't wait to. It's obviously it's not as wild, I guess you can say, during the summer. But it's a good lead-in to where we're going to be during the school year to see the amazing things we're going to do here.
Yeah, no, I agree. And, honestly, for me personally, I can't wait to build upon what we've started. Like I said, it's been 3 weeks, but it feels like it's been a lot longer. Yeah. And it's one of those things that's just like, cool, let's go. And, there's like no debate between do we need to cover this or not. And I still remember going out with you to Columbia your first, second day. Yeah, and I was just like, let's go. And I wish I would have brought a camera with me because the interaction you had with that student just talking about her stuff, I'm like, holy crap. Like, this kid is fantastic. You got a lot out of her that I would have never thought to ask. And it's like, she's going to grow up being this neurosurgeon, whatever, gymnast, thing. And she's only a junior, I think.
Like a neurosurgeon Olympian.
Yeah.
It's just some of the students that nobody has any idea about that are going to be doing the biggest things and changing the world right here in Nampa. It's truly something cool to witness and to be able to help get that out. Yeah, you said it. Very cool to see.
Yeah. So moving over to you, Will. Well, you're coming out of a school. I remember when I came out of a school a couple years ago, it's like opened my eyes to a lot of things. And from my perspective, going into Skyview a few times, seeing things, I'm like, I had no clue any of this was even happening. So you get to see things on a grander scale as well in your new position. A lot of our focus will be on athletics, but we have a huge group of kids doing activities. And to be honest, a lot of people in the community are like, why are you guys spending so much time on these things? It keeps kids in school. I know for me personally, if football wasn't there, I probably would have dropped out, not because I couldn't do it, because I was bored, but I had to keep my grades up. I was in the band. I played tuba. I was in drama. I did the spring plays. So I always had to have something going on. Otherwise, I would have been one of those that's just like, I don't want to do this. So, Will, what are some of your goals coming into this role, and what are you kind of excited about as well?
I'd say the first thing I want to do is I want to familiarize myself with the many programs that we have in the district because of working at one building or one site. You kind of live in your own little world. You know that world really well, but you get a chance now in this new position to see the many things that are going on in all of the schools, the middle schools, the elementaries, all of the things that you guys have kind of talked about that keep kids connected. And that's the biggest thing right now with our extracurricular activities is keeping kids connected. So one of my goals would be to help support those programs, to continue the good things they're doing, and then see if there are some things that we can increase, that we can get better at. Maybe there are some programs that we could add, that maybe there are some students sitting out there right now that there's not something that they're connected to. Well, we need to find we need to find ways, we need to find avenues to support them and get them connected to our schools, because being at one building, you have 1,200 kids, and you probably have 700 to 800 of them that are really connected. Well, we got to get those other 400 to 500 kids connected as well. And so that would be one of my goals, to see if we can do that and support our current programs. And I'm excited about bringing Matt. He described, those things on highlighting those programs. Being at Skyview, we knew, the things that were going on there. But again, you just live in that one little bubble, and getting yourself a chance to see the perspective on a district scale is different. So want to get a chance to familiarize myself with programs across the district and get to know all of the coaches, the directors, and kind of see what their goals are and where they see their programs going, and seeing how those things can develop and get better, and then tie those things to the community. We have a great city here in Nampa, and we want to get those folks that want to help and support and reach out to them, because we know they're out there. And whether it's monetarily they're helping and supporting us, or them just showing up to some of our games and some of our programs, is going to do nothing but benefit our kids.
Now, speaking of community, I'm just going to jump ahead here in what we were going to talk about, but it just kind of fits right in. What are some ways that the community can help out? We know they can come volunteer pretty much anytime. Just work it out with your teacher, your school. But what are some other ways that the people in our community can help?
Well, there's always programs that are in need of support. They need people that can help out and be, whether it's an assistant coach. There's a lot of times that in our middle schools, I know they're always looking for coaches, so our community can reach out and be part of that. They can support in a sponsorship way. And then again, those sponsorships turn around the other way, and they also help their businesses by getting their name out there and getting us connected to those things. And so those are just a couple of ways, but we're always open to new ideas. And so if people want to reach out with some new ideas on how they can support, that would be awesome. I mean, we're just looking for as much of the city of Nampa to get on board with the Nampa School District and continue to support our programs.
And I mean, I'm not ashamed to call this a Les Schwab studio. I mean, just throwing it out there, one of the cool things, Matt, we've talked about this idea of where students are now. And as you were talking about it, like this popped in my brain. I don't know the kid's name, but he now owns and runs Casa Robles. It's a little Hispanic restaurant on the other side of town by Skyview. Fantastic food.
Oh, man.
Like, holy cow, it's good. And he graduated from Nampa.
Nice.
I just ate there yesterday. I try to go, if not once a week, I try to go as often as I can. Jerry is the former Skyview student that started that. In fact, his brother Christian was working yesterday. Jerry was in the back doing the books. So it's cool to see former student athletes that now are creating businesses in our community, and I know they'll step up and support us if we ever reach out to them. But I know it's exciting to see that in our community.
Yeah, it's when I first came in here, we really started using the hashtag We Are Nampa, and it's one of those things that yes, Nampa High, that's their slogan, but it means more to that now because of 3 high schools, all of our middle schools, our elementary schools. Whereas you walk in the DO, we have the big thing with all of the schools. We are Nampa, we are one. So yes, he was a Skyview kid, but he's really a product of all of us.
Absolutely.
And doing that and giving back. So Matt, we're gonna have to get you out there because their food's legit.
Matt, you sold me on food first off, but then second, Mexican food. Oh, please. Anytime. I'm always down. So let's go support.
Oh yeah. Yeah. So we are setting goals to have a weekly podcast and video. Matt, what do we got coming up next week? We just got confirmation that he'll be able to do it next week. But what do we have for next week? And then we'll go into a little bit of funness.
Well, I'm excited for everything we've talked about. We're going to have a lot of through the next couple weeks, if not more months. We're going to have coaches, band leaders. We're going to have a lot of different people on, but next week we're actually hosting the Skyview band director to share about their summer and 4th of July fundraiser they've got coming up. Also, we're going to have the fall sports season kicking off, and Will can tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, there's a lot of things coming up that we're all going to be excited about. Obviously, we have new facilities that are coming together right now as we speak. The football, soccer, all-purpose fields that we can do so many different things. Marching band can practice out there more often, and so it's exciting to see some of the things that are coming up this fall as you just drive by. Skyview in Nampa now is about halfway done. They're just about ready to put that turf down there, and then Columbia is on their way right now as well. So, there's a lot of things that we're excited about, and I'm glad that Joe Baboy, the band director, is going to join you guys next week. That'll be great.
Yeah. No, it's going to be a lot of fun. So we're going to have a little bit of fun ourselves here, and I'm going to have two questions. One, it's pretty easy, and then the second one is going to throw you guys for a loop. Just going to say it. So first off, it is baseball season, so we'll just go around. I'm a Mariner fan, been a fan my whole life, growing up in the Yakima Valley up in Washington. I remember 95 season like it was yesterday, even though I was in 6th grade when that happened. And I still remember at the camp that I was at calling my dad calling collect, being like, what happened in the game? And telling me like, nope, we won, and we were within like 2 games of the Angels at that point. And the Mariners, as much as they love to hurt our feelings, they're still my team, and their saying is there's always next year. So, but this year we're
that's a lot of team sayings.
So Will, what is your baseball team?
I'm a Cincinnati Red fan, and unfortunately, we haven't won it since 1990 with the Nasty Boys coming out of the
Ooh, yes.
And so it's been a little frustrating, but they've been competing at a little bit different level the last few years. I've been a long time baseball fan, and there's some things that I'd love to see in baseball change just a little bit. But yeah, I'm a huge baseball fan. Cincinnati Reds, I'll hang in there probably as long as we can hang in there, but they produced a lot of good players historically, and so the Big Red Machines of the 70s and the 80s, and that team in 1990 was special. Got a chance to. It was right before I moved here to Idaho, so that was really cool. So I watched a lot of baseball that summer, and then they won the World Series that year, and I moved over here to Idaho. Actually, I was already here in Idaho when they won that in the fall. And so that was my first year at College of Idaho in the fall of 1990, many years ago. But,
so what you're saying is you need to move back so they get better again.
I need to do something. I got to change something, but I'm not changing teams.
There you go.
Speaking of changing teams, you have 10 seconds to tell us who you like.
A little known team called the Dodgers.
All right, moving on.
Yeah, I've been a Dodger fan for a long time, but if you're born and raised somewhere, you're gonna fall for a team, and I just happen to do that. I've been a big fan for decades now, and whenever my parents still live in LA, though they could be moving up here because every time they visit, they say, why are we still in LA? But I consider Dodger Stadium like my second home. I try to go every time I'm there. Historic. The energy there is amazing. And there's just so many players that I've just grown to love. They haven't won a championship since 2020. So that's not that long. So,
but nobody got to see that.
No, they had cardboard cutouts in the stands at the time too. So that happens. But yeah, big time Dodger fan, and I've just been pretty hardcore about it, and we're looking pretty good this year, though Mookie Betts is out for 1 to 2 months with a fractured hand now. Oh, kills me. So
the second question, just for kicks and giggles.
Oh, good line.
The ultimate pitcher batter matchup that could never happen, who would you want to see? So we're talking anybody in their prime. Could be Babe Ruth against Randy Johnson.
I'd love to see Greg Maddux against Joe DiMaggio.
Ooh.
Greg Maddux, Joe DiMaggio.
Okay.
I love Greg Maddux. He just located the ball and just battled. He didn't throw 100 miles an hour. He threw about 88 miles an hour, but he just moved the ball both sides of the plate, changed speeds.
He was filthy.
And he never walked anybody. He just got ahead, pitched ahead, and a lot of ground balls. And, yeah, I'd love to see that matchup.
That's a good one.
That is a good one. I'm going to go a little wild here. I would like to see prime, of course, I guess when we're talking about this, we're thinking prime whoever. Prime Clayton Kershaw, arguably the best Dodger pitcher.
Regular season or playoffs?
Very much regular season. Good distinction there. Prime regular season, Clayton Kershaw taking on prime Yogi Berra, who could talk and talk and talk, and what a great hitter he was. But Clayton Kershaw famously, nothing during the regular season gets in his head. But I think Yogi Berra, with the amount he talked and just the amount of, oh my gosh, sayings that he came up with that are so ridiculous, I just wonder if he'd get in his head. That'd be fun to watch.
That would mine, like I said, Babe Ruth against Randy Johnson.
Ooh.
Babe Ruth, the hitter, not the pitcher.
Okay.
But Randy Johnson to get the big unit up there, that would be fun to watch. Power against power, both lefties.
Just make sure there's no birds in the area.
Yeah.
Too soon.
All right. Well, we've covered a lot today on this, and definitely appreciate anybody that is still listening at this point. But it's been fun. So before we wrap up, any final thoughts, Will?
No, just thanks for the opportunity to come in today and visit a little bit about the new position and the things that I'm going to get a chance to support in our district. I'm excited. We already have a lot of the good things that are going on, but with these new facilities being built, I hope that gains some more momentum and it spreads to all of our performing arts, all of our athletics, and we can just keep building those good things and give kids opportunities to be part of something. So looking forward to it.
Matt, any final thoughts?
Yeah, I'm so excited to be doing this with you, Tyler. To be able to talk to, I've already met so many people, but to be able to meet the coaches, the directors, and all the people that are going to be coming in and playing such a big role in the Nampa School District, and just to shine that light on them and have their voices heard, just tell you, it's just another form of storytelling, something that I am so excited to be doing here. I think this is going to be great, and this is just one of many, and looking forward to all of them.
No, I agree. And thank you again both for joining us in the first episode of basically the NSD podcast. Remember to like, subscribe so you don't miss any of our updates, as I'm going to play some fun music in the background as we fade out.